If I hear one more well meaning 26-year-old influencer tell me that I need 8 hours of sleep a night, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'll just leave it at that. But when you're over 50, and I won't say how far over, but when you get a little bit older and you have a lot on your mind, insomnia isn't about not choosing an optimal amount of sleep. Like people with insomnia wish they could sleep. So, you see all these posts and from doctors and healthcare people, and it's like, we freaking get it. We want to sleep, especially if you're dealing with hypervigilance or an overtaxed nervous system. And there's some kind of people who have insomnia that can't fall asleep, and God bless their souls. I would go crazy if that was me. I fall asleep like a baby, but I wake up around 2:30 or 3 o'clock, and I'm like, no, I need more sleep. So this week I am doing a short video for any of those who are like me who can't sleep. And guess what? This is positive because I've tried it all. Look at all this stuff: magnesium, lights out, Ollie extra sleep, magnesium, melatonin. I've tried it all. I've tried it all. What is this one? Valerian? I think I tried that one. Anyway, I've tried it all. I stopped drinking coffee after 8 o'clock one morning, and I was so miserable. I was like, I'm not going to do that again. So I get it. There's more ways to tweak it. But this week I really want to lean in for people who struggle or who have a lot on your mind. And there are positives about what we're going through. There's some great creative people who have accomplished a lot in their one lifetime, and they didn't sleep worth a crap. Vincent van Gogh, he rarely slept, and I'm grateful for that. The poor guy died at 38, I believe, and look at the body of work he produced. So a few more people I want to touch upon is Vincent van Gogh, who I already mentioned, writers like Marcel Proust, Franz Kafka. They were intimately acquainted with sleepless nights. Inventor Thomas Edison famously experimented with sleep and believed he needed very little of it. The list of people who wrestled with disruptive sleep is long and impressive. And it raises an intriguing question. What happens to the mind that refuses to shut down? For someone with PTSD, insomnia can be more than being very tired or unable to fall asleep. When the nervous system refuses to shut down, nighttime becomes the one time that the mind refuses to shut down. And the way that it kind of exasperates itself is when one who is overtired, or I'll just say me, when I'm overtired and I haven't been sleeping all that well, and I finally do knock out for a deep sleep, nightmares come in, because the mind is tired or overtaxed or whatever. But if you can look at these list of people who I'm putting on the screen right now, I hope it inspires you to let go of some of that pressure and stop listening to 20 somethings who haven't experienced life the way many of us have: job loss, or a loss of a loved one, a tragic event, serving in wartime, a sickness of a grandchild. Things that really break the heart and weigh heavily on someone's mind, especially when they're just putting on a happy face to be supportive and loving to the people around them. So I get you. I've been there. I don't have a miracle cure, But here is my okay, so you know how they say PSA, public service announcement? Here is my PSQ, public service question. If any of you do have a holistic remedy that helps you stay asleep, put it in the comments. I would love to read it because I come as someone that doesn't have all the answers. Nobody likes a know it all. I just know that the way that calms my brain down is by drawing. Here is something I drew today. I was feeling especially anxious, and it happens sometimes, but it was me sitting down with a couple bucks in my hand, and I was getting ready for a meeting. So I drew the scene before me. And in that action of picking up the pen, putting pen to paper, I forgot about everything. I wasn't thinking of sleep or job issues or the health of people that I absolutely adore. I was focused on one line after the next. So you can check in my bio in my art page, and it goes into who I want to help and how I want to help, not as an expert, but as a fellow human walking through this life like the rest of us. One thing I do want to mention that I think is very important. Do you know what's worse than losing a couple hours of sleep? The cortisol that shoots through your body every time you're hearing some know it all tell you that the way you're living is wrong. Reduce scrolling, begin creating, and read about who I'm trying to help because, I think we all just kind of have to hold on to each other because life gets bumpy. And if you don't sleep, be like me. You know what I do? I'm like, okay, God, I guess you wanted me up at 3:15. I'm getting up, I'm getting my coffee, and I immediately go into prayer, meditation, journaling, and asking him for help to understand his will for me for that day. Not for the rest of my life, not major decisions, and I go about my day. So if you need to watch this again or send it to someone that you know who also struggles with sleep, that would be awesome. Let them know they're in good company. Maybe it's a sign of a brilliant mind. All right, till next week. God bless you. Have a good week.